that. They'll be calling you a radical. So I had open heart surgery. Before I forget, PewDiePie, now I've never seen one video ever they've made. The #1 YouTuber, yay, has moved to Japan. Really? In irony, you cannot make it up. Why would he move to Japan? Why would anybody move to Japan? Fukushima, radioactive. So, back to it. 12 years ago today, I sat right back in that chair 10 years ago today and prayed and made that. That video I did this morning is unbelievable, really, as I had all my teeth pulled yesterday. It stopped on 512, because this camera's got a mind of its own. You never know when it's going to stop. Like fighting cancer. Academia. Boy, did I have it nailed right. I painted these 30 years ago exactly right now, my self-portrait. So, as I said, I had open heart surgery 5 years ago that came out of war at my valve. Then, 2 years after that, on Earth Day, I had a booth right up there. My gallbladder ruptured. Mike Lead kicked me off Medicaid. I was due for gallbladder surgery, and he kicked me off 2 days before. After I'd forked over $1 million, kicked me off while I was in a bone marrow transplant center. My doctor freaked out. So anyway, that almost killed me. Then my teeth, I've had 10 of them pulled now, which that happens to all of us. I remember a woman came into my room, AML leukemia survivor. She heard about me. She came in, she said, if your platelets, when they get strong enough, go ahead and get your teeth removed now. We'll avoid the rush because you're going to go for a 10-year nightmare because it's going to destroy them. I had 3 rounds of Hep C M squared, and I have AML De Novo OS, which good doctors looked me right in the face, told me I had 2 months to live. I mean, I went from 170 to 130, seen the worst of the worst, the best of the best. And so I wouldn't recommend. I mean, it was a radical, crazy choice, but I prayed and prayed and prayed about it. I really prayed. There's a guy named Brian Morse, in front of me, who had the same disease. They sent him home, Brian didn't die. Now, his came back 9 years later, and it was from the heavy chemo. Radiated his bone marrow, and so he had a transplant. Didn't work. This is just last year. I went down and saw him, thought for sure he was a goner. He's a great dude, native here. But his son had given him the half match, and they used this new super booster, liquid gold, and it worked. He's a beast. And so, but anyway, my daughter says, willingly, I willingly did this. I walked the entire coast of California, walked from PB to PG, which I literally did, Pacific Beach, San Diego to Pacific Grove. You know how long that is? In one shot, I walked in, not the Pacific Trail, the beach, which I've done. I want to get back there this weekend if I can get the money. My teeth, I mean, I'll tell you how tough I am, and I'm tough. I says, I'm just going to go walk the coast of California when I'm strict up another. My platelet count stayed in the 30s for 5 years. I wouldn't have been able to have open heart surgery, even if they wanted to. I wouldn't have been able to have teeth free. I just bled to death. But finally, they slowly started to creep back up. And when it did come time for the open heart surgery, I had exhausted all my money. The medical discrimination is the biggest thing we're up against, leukemia survivors. I mean, it's horrific because my bill was $1.8 million. You're devastated and you're financially ruined, and then you have no health care and all the consequences thereof. I don't know how I didn't die from the heart. I went and saw a doctor named Michael Hawkins at the Ogden Medical Regional Center, who advertised their heart doctors, kept telling me to go see my dentist. There was a girl in there, a nurse that came in and said, no, I was one of Kevin's nurses at LDSC State. He's an AML kid. I could hear him arguing in the back. Oh, I ran the test. Come to find out, you don't even have to be a real doctor to be an emergency room doctor in this state. Can't talk about fraud. So, flipping the can, for 6-7 years fighting this, I never missed the can one time. But I fought back against who give it to me. Play back the tape, Your Honor. It's been a hell of a fight. A hell of a fight. But I wouldn't recommend it, but I think the transplant would have killed me. I really do. And because I wasn't recovering. I painted these 30 years ago. Boy. Exactly 30 years ago. Academia. Boy, did I have it called there, my self-portrait. Why would PewDiePie move to Japan? All your money, Canada. Talk about the ironies. So I